Hi, everyone. My name is Mari, and I come from something called the Oslopolitan. We are working to facilitate for internationals working and living in Oslo and wanting to live in Oslo. So I'm going to go through a brief presentation for you today, and feel free to ask questions. That's the most fun part. So the city of Oslo is the capital of Norway and the largest city in our country. If you compare us to the other Nordic cities, obviously Stockholm and Copenhagen is going to be bigger, but I would say we're the most beautiful city. Our city is very compact. It means that you can get anywhere within 15 minutes. Actually, there's a saying that within 15 minutes of anywhere in the city, you can be in nature. Either if it's in actually a forest, or you can be on a mountaintop, or you can be out on the islands where you can take a ferry out and go swimming or barbecuing in the summer. We're 700,000 people living in our city, which makes us smaller than the other cities. But if you look at what we call the Oslo region, we're actually 2.3 million. And that's almost half of Norway's population just living in our region, close to 42% or so. Our region, what do you know about Norway, might be in mountains, fjords, fish, and oil, but our companies actually focus in also on energy and environmental technology, bioeconomy, life sciences, and ICT systems. So it's also a very up-and-coming city, and we have lots of startup business going on. So I would really recommend you to check it out. Norway has actually, and Oslo region has actually created 5 unicorns within a year now. So it's definitely a booming city for startups. So I would definitely check it out. Since I mentioned the Oslo region, I wanted to show you a little map. So you can see Oslo in the middle of the center of the picture here in the red space. That's the Oslo city center. Not necessarily where all the red parts go, but it's right there. As you can see, we're at the end of a fjord, but it's not the fjords that you've probably seen pictures of from Norway with grand, majestic mountains closing in. But it's a very nice place where you can actually go with a boat or go swimming. Into Oslo, you will actually get a ferry from Kiel in Germany or Copenhagen in Denmark. So you can go anywhere you want from just Oslo and just taking a boat. The entire region is actually a very active place. You can get anywhere here within 2 hours. Up in the right part where you see the purple space is actually where a place where you can find the most international electric vehicles. So a fun fact, and I know that you've heard this from Finland already, but Oslo is also a similar way. Most of Oslo is actually covered in forests, and you can go hiking. It's actually one of Norway's and Oslopolitan's favorite activity on the weekends. You can go very easily from anywhere you want, and you can explore. In Norway, we have something called the right to roam. It means that you're actually allowed to go anywhere you want as long as it's free space. So even if you can cross private property when it's close to water, you can go on people's, not into people's cabins, but go close to where they live, up in the mountains, into the forests of Norway. You also might know that we're the home of the Nobel Peace Prize, which is something that Oslo is very proud of, and that we support a lot of peace initiatives around the world. A fun fact you might know and not know is that Oslo donates the Christmas tree in Trafalgar Square, London, every year. So again, with all the forests we have, we always find a perfect tree for London. Oslo is also Norway's most ethnically diverse city, where 1 in 3 is born outside of Norway or with a foreign-born parent. I know it says Oslo, but it's supposed to be Norway. And you might have heard that Oslo is expensive. Well, it's not actually that expensive. Oslo is ranked 55th in the world's most expensive cities by Mercer, but we're far behind Copenhagen, which is actually on the 16th place. So make sure you come and visit us before you decide if it's too expensive or not. I could say that luxury goods, which actually alcohol is considered to be, is more pricey than other countries, but trust me, we know how to pre-party, and you can definitely get around those things. I have lived many places around the world, and one thing that I always get asked if we have polar bears. And I just want to say right now, we do not have polar bears in our streets. And also actually doesn't get that cold. Our winters are around -5 to 5 degrees Celsius. And today it's a sunny day with 16 degrees, which is pretty good for October. Like I said, Oslo is surrounded by forests, and we would like you to know that coming to Norway and coming to Oslo, you will join a livable and diverse community. And the city is really transforming every single day. Something is being built, something is being changed, and something is being developed. But it's all with a focus on well-being, sustainable technology, and the human-driven innovation. It's a big city, but compact, with beautiful nature at your doorstep. So you can go anywhere you want. And like I mentioned, with the nature, it means that Oslopolitans, they love to ski. And you can actually ski just by taking the metro, tram, or bus. And if you go to visit Oslo on a Sunday, you will definitely see plenty of skis on the metro because everybody is going out to ski. And we love our skiing activities and events that you can go and attend, which is big events throughout the year. And again, they're just right here in the city. But even though if you want to go ice skiing in the summer or ice climbing, for example, in the summertime, we also have a place for that with a big indoor skiing arena, which you can visit all year long. But maybe you actually don't like to ski, or you don't know how to yet, but you want to, of course. There's also other things you could do. Norway is also known for its Viking heritage, and we do have a Viking museum that's very popular to visit here in Oslo. But maybe Vikings are not really your thing, or you don't see the need to check that out. Well, maybe modern art is your place. There's lots of art sculptures, and actually Norway has one of the city with the largest outdoor sculpture park in the world, with Viking, which you can go and see. This is actually from Kistefoss. It's where the Twist is. This building has received lots of architectural prizes for being a very interactive and cool place to visit. And the entire forest here is covered actually in sculptures and artifacts. And on Friday, it was a very big deal here in Norway. The new Munch Museum opened. If you haven't heard of Edvard Munch, you might have heard of the Scream. Yes, that's from Norway. We're actually the only artwork in the world that has their own emoji. Think about that. You can also come to Norway and to Oslo and visit our brand new city beach. It just opened this summer, and you can go swimming in the fjord of Oslo. It's a very popular activity, and the city has focused on that for many years now to actually make sure that the water is so clean that you can go swimming anytime you want. It means literally anytime you want. And the city harbor has been developing a lot. You can see all the cranes in the back of the photos over there. And it's really developing really, really fast. And the area is covered with people going swimming in the summer. We also, as Finland, has we have a big sauna community, actually. And I think we now have 10 of these different sauna boats that you can go visiting while you're here in Oslo, which is really great. And what you see in the back there is actually our opera, which is shaped more as a glacier and an ice mountain. Oslo actually is, like I said, it's a compact city, but it has 40 islands and 343 lakes and an entire forest surrounding it. So one of my favorite activities in the summer is to take the ferry out to the small islands that you can see here on the map and go swimming, barbecuing, and hang out with my friends on really warm, sunny days. You can also go kayaking, you can go sailing, boating, anything you want. The fjord is here to use it. That's what the purpose is. But maybe actually world-class dining is what you're mostly interested in. We have a 3-star Michelin restaurant here at Maemo, which certainly is something that people come here to visit for us and check out. But also maybe a smaller place like a street food venue could be really cool things. There's actually more than 1,000 restaurants to choose from in the Oslo city. And obviously, if you go outside of the city and go to the rest of the Oslo region, there will be plenty more to visit and see. Oslopolitans also love concerts, and we actually had more than 5,000 cultural activities in a year, which is more than any other Nordic city. We have concerts for anything. If they're rock music, pop music, cultural, classical music, it could be hard rock, it could be anything you want. There is definitely a music festival here for you. Just this weekend, there's another one coming up. And it's this picture is actually taken from a place called Grefsenkollen. It's very close to where I live right now. And you can see the entire city in the back of the photo, which is very easy. Up here to this Grefsenkollen, you can go take a bus, you can walk, you can bike, you can hike, because literally this is where the forest starts. So this is a really cool place. And it has a gorgeous view of the entire city. It's an easy city to get around to. I mentioned earlier that we have in the region, you can get around with a train and buses and etc. But you can get around very easily inside the city as well. And we have metros, trams, buses, trains. And Norway's been very big on micromobility. So there's lots of scooters and electric bikes that you can borrow and rent to get you from A to B. So you can bike anywhere you want. Oslo is very focused on creating bike lanes. Since Oslo was the European Green Capital in 2019, we have actually created an initiative to have more than 250 kilometers of bike lanes in the city in the next few years. So that's really, really cool. I bike pretty much everywhere I go, which is good. I also want to mention that the culture of work balance in Oslo is very good. Oslo has the second least overworked population in the 50 regions globally, and the 7th lowest proportion of residents regularly working overtime. So we're really talking 8 to 4, and maybe even shorter if you want to. We're flexible, and also we really value the opportunity to go traveling on the weekends, either if it's internationally or in Norway, going from a cabin trip to a different city in Oslo or in Norway to explore. Oslo is known for its remote work. So during COVID now, Oslo has become one of the most easiest to remote work cities in the entire world, which is something we're really proud of. Oslo is also the third most talent competitive city in the world, so much more than London, New York, and San Francisco, according to the 2009 Global Talent Competitive Index, which is something we're really proud of. And Oslo is the 27th most trusted city among the European startup and founders and entrepreneurs, among 75 European startup hubs. And also is big on equal employment opportunities. Also has the 4th smallest gender employment gap and pay gap, and is 2nd on gender equality in the world, which is something we're also very proud of.
Marie, we only have 1 minute left.
I don't actually have that much more to say. I recommend you all to check out Oslopolitan.no, which is a website designed for you and with you. We also have social media accounts you can follow, and you're free to send us an email and ask us any questions you want. But I would love to have some more questions here today that I could answer.